Hey guys, it's Astra. Here's the final installment of this floating island series. You may have seen in the background the last one, I was kind of making a giant blue floating crystal in ode to the center of the island in Castle in the Sky, the Studio Ghibli movie that I referenced in the first video. However, unfortunately, I realised it kind of looked big and stupid because I can't build proportions correctly, ergo it felt a bit idiotic. Either way, I decided I needed also to have a way down, so I ended up building this platform that kind of mimics a lush cave. I add in moss and azaleas. I basically used stone originally because I found it easier to shape out the platform and see how it looks with just stone blocks before then turning it into moss. And then I have I think 3x3 column of water that ends up descending down to the ground, so someone on the ground can actually get up to the floating islands and they're not like, oh cool, look at my base, I can't really get to it, that's a bit of a problem. So basically I do that. This is just a little time lapse, show you this, and then I end up doing a walkthrough of the base at the end. So, well, here we go. Okay, so as you can see now, we have the central platform which is linking all the islands together, and I've got the azalea trees and the moss and the weathered copper trapdoors which cover part of the 3x3 hole, and now I'm just making the final moss bridges off the island because I realised the island with the fish pond and lake inside it was disconnected, as well as the one with the storage system. So you'll just see a quick time lapse here of me finishing that off, and then basically that's the end of my base. And then I'll just give you a quick tour through it because I know I did different sections, I did the field in the first one, and then I did some of the other elements in the second one, video wise. So I thought then I'll have a little trip down memory lane. I'll show you this massive project that I did. Note to oneself, I don't think I'll want to build with moss for quite a long time. This was just a lot of moss, a lot of different mossy bricks. Took a long time, you know what I mean, when you just try and take a mega base out. So yeah, enjoy the rest of this little time lapse, and then I'll walk you through the base at the end. Okay guys, now it's time to do the run through. As you'll see, I started on the chest island. That's just where I end up after the last building, so now you'll just see this quickly. So you see all the barrels and the pots and the chests and how it kind of looks very cluttered. I use the sea lanterns to maintain that natural feel, and then obviously then we move over the moss bridge, which is moss and mossy stone wall or just mossy cobble wall. And then you move on to the like wooden island with the dark oak and the nether bricks, owing to the fact that there's a nether portal beneath. You see you have all your functions and you have your massive campfire down here. And then obviously we go down these oak trapdoors into the nether part where, as you can see, we have our nether portal and all the surrounding accoutrements, such as soul lanterns, candles, fire, and obviously lava, kind of giving the nether is spilling out into the overworld. And then we go back up again to go on to the next island. And then we have some more of this mossy walkway. You can see the way I've structured it, we kind of have a T-junction here. I think in the future, if I was ever going to edit something, I might add stairs in rather than just the bumpiness. Either way, here we have the kind of blown up island, which has like an open entrance where we have the enchanting and the shroom lights and everything else. I also, as you can see, added a bed in there because I thought that, well, to be honest, you wouldn't want it on the oak island because it's too open air. And then we now move on to the amazing like farm island with all the wheat. I think in the future, if I was ever going to do anything with this, I would edit the crops and maybe make like different crops to basically differentiate a bit more. And then here we go on to the main island with the like flat fountain down to the middle, and you can see the two different paths off. And now we wander over to the lake island, which I showed you in the first video, which has all these nice green frog lights and glowberry bushes and water, and I think there's some fish in the water. So it's very much given, it was broken open, exposed to the elements, and now there's all this marine life in there. And then we go back up, and then we have a little look back. Also, I don't know if you can notice, but there's all the different types of stone bricks on there. So I've used chisel stone bricks, regular stone bricks, mossy stone bricks, stone, cobblestone, mossy cobblestone. So I've used all the variants in these islands so it doesn't look like one singular entity. And basically that's the end of it. Back to the storage. I hope you guys enjoyed. Astronova out!